Let us pray. Creator God, on this day of celebration, we come with joy and thanksgiving for the opportunities of study and research, for the blending of cultures and the sharing of experience and learning, for family and friends who have supported us in the long journey towards our goals. We give thanks. Bless those who journey forth from here to their different places and countries of work, seeking a greater understanding of the world, the history and development of all its people. Those who will use their knowledge and skill and compassion in seeking to uphold the welfare of our community, to nurse the sick and to care for the dying. Those into whose healing hands we entrust with the bringing into the world the miraculous gift of new life. May blessing be upon all our graduates today. May they find happiness in all that they do as they pass on their gifts to future generations, and may the world be enriched by their learning. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to all of you to this morning's graduation. It is nice to see you all here. Before we start the formal proceedings of admitting the graduates and make them graduates, it's my pleasure to welcome the Principal and Vice Chancellor to address the Assembly. Thank you.
Chancellor, Deputy Lord Provost, graduands, honorary fellows, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start by welcoming you all to this ceremony. And to those of you who are visiting Dundee for the first time, I'd like to extend a particularly warm welcome on behalf of the City and the University of Dundee. Now, graduation is very much your day, but I'd like to make it clear to everybody in this audience that all my colleagues on this stage today are just as proud as your parents and friends are of your achievements, and it is a very proud and important day for us too. We really enjoy joining in your celebration. And for me, as I stand here each year looking at a new audience of our soon-to-be graduates, it gives me a great feeling of optimism for the future. So I thank you all for that. And graduation is a celebration, but it's also a time for reflection on the many opportunities and challenges to come. So while we look back on the many achievements of our new graduates, surrounded by the tradition and history of a ceremony which has changed little since our beginnings as University College Dundee in 1883, we're also focused firmly on the future. That same continuum of pride in achievement and ambition for the future was at the heart of our thinking as we set about building and launching a new vision for the university that will shape our thinking, actions and development over the years to come. Our vision has firm foundations built on core values which date back to the beginnings of the university and that have guided the university's development throughout its history. And at its heart are the abilities and ambitions of our staff, our students and our graduates, whose ranks are soon to be swelled by the 3,000 or so students who are graduating this week. And we've set ourselves a very simple goal. It is to become Scotland's leading university within 25 years. And if we achieve our goal, it follows that the University of Dundee will be celebrated internationally for the quality of our graduates and the impact of our research. And in developing our vision, it was important to us to define not only what we want to achieve, but also to be clear about why and how we'll do it. And for this reason, at the centre of our thinking is a core purpose: to transform lives. Now, our ambitions in this respect include transforming the lives of our students drawn from local, national and international backgrounds, many of whom are graduating this week. And it extends to applying the knowledge and understanding we gain through research and scholarship to tackle the global problems which universities like Dundee are uniquely able to address. And to do this, we identified 3 key challenges, which can only be addressed through sustained excellence and by working creatively together across traditional disciplines. Our first key challenge is promoting the sustainable use of global resources. And what this means is harnessing the expertise which exists throughout the university to ensure global supplies of water, food and energy. And it doesn't get more fundamental than that. Our second key challenge is shaping the future through innovative design. And this is because good design is central to all successful innovations, whether that's through the appeal and practical utility of objects, buildings and landscapes, or the efficiency of processes. So we will use our leading expertise to put design at the heart of our strategy for innovation. And our final key challenge is to improve social, cultural and physical well-being. And we'll do this through our research and teaching in social, physical and medical sciences, and by promoting the university's central part in the cultural development and economic regeneration of the city. Let me turn now to our goal to become Scotland's leading university. Why did we look so far ahead in setting our target, and what is its relevance to those who are graduating this week? The answer, I feel, is in the scale of our ambition and what that means for you as future alumni. If you look back over the last 25 years, few, if any, could have imagined the power of the internet, the widespread use of mobile devices, or the threats now presented to the planet by global warming. And if we look on a local scale, who could have envisaged the transformation of the city of Dundee, its waterfronts and plans for the V&A to come to our city, and not least the announcement earlier this week that Dundee has been shortlisted for the City of Culture 2017. That was an announcement that came through just as we were having our first graduation ceremony on Wednesday morning, and it was met with great celebration by the audience. And the university today is unrecognisable compared with the institution I joined nearly 24 years ago. So fast forward another 24 years, and our efforts will have transformed our reputation and our standing in a manner which will benefit not just those graduating this week, but future graduates and alumni too. As I've said already, our ambition and transformational thinking gains credibility and strength from our history. Amongst our first celebrated professors were individuals like Patrick Geddes. He was a botanist who became known as the father of town planning. And Darcy Thompson, a biologist who applied mathematical principles to understanding the growth and form of living organisms. These individuals were interested in some of the most important and intractable problems of the day, and they brought thinking to bear from different schools of thought to address them. We emulate their thinking in modern developments, such as the Centre for Translational and Interdisciplinary Research, our Centre for Environmental Change and Human Resilience, and in the newly launched Offshore Renewables Institute. But let me now tell you a story that I think vividly illustrates the richness of our history and our commitment to transforming lives. It's the inspirational story of one of our first graduates, Mary Lily Walker. And on this, the centenary of her death, I would like to take the opportunity to champion her achievements. And that's Mary Lily you see on the slide there. It's one of the only images that exists of Mary Lily. Mary Lily was not only one of the first women in Scotland to be taught in the same classroom as men, winning prizes in botany, biology and embryology, but she was a pioneer for social reform in Dundee and beyond. Her innovative approach to addressing the issues facing mothers and children in Dundee at the time led her to found the UK's first women's restaurant, to provide sustenance for nursing mothers, to set up a women's hospital where women could be treated by female doctors, and to set up children's clinics in Dundee. And the achievement for which she is best known, the founding of the Grey Lodge settlement in Dundee, which educated social workers and offered classes and activities for children in the city, still thrives today after she willed her properties to the organisation. Mary Lilly also wrote the highly influential Dundee Social Union Report of 1905, which detailed the deplorable working and living conditions in Dundee and highlighted the dreadful child mortality rate. It was a publication that was talked about in Parliament and which was influential in liberal social reforms of the day. Before her death, Mary Lilly went on to become one of the first women parish councillors in Dundee and was one of only 2 women asked to write for the British Society for the Advancement of Science Handbook in 1912. Mary Lilly died in July 1913, 4 days before her 50th birthday. But in her short life, she transformed the social conditions of women in our city and beyond. And as an institution, we take inspiration from Mary Lilly's story. If each and every one of us tries to emulate her ambition, innovation, and imagination, and applies these principles to the way we teach, to our research tackling complex global problems, and to harness our efforts to transforming lives, we will become Scotland's leading university, who knows, in less than 25 years. And in doing so, the university will become known around the world for producing leaders and achievers in all walks of life. And that includes many of you who are graduating today. We will be the partner of choice for some of the best institutions in the world, and people will see the University Dundee as a major player on the world stage. Perhaps most importantly, we will have a significant impact on lives in Dundee, across the UK and around the world, delivering tangible economic, social and cultural benefits. So today, I want to encourage you all to take the skills, knowledge and confidence that you have gained while studying at the University of Dundee, and to use them to be ambitious and transformational as you go out into the world and build your own lives and careers. I wish you all well for the future and hope you will continue to take pride in the success of this university, as I will undoubtedly take pride in the achievements of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal, for that address. Now, before we start the official ceremony, the graduates in nursing and midwifery have to undertake an oath, and I invite Professor Connell, Vice Principal and Head of the College of Medicine, Dentistry and Nursing, to administer the oath.
Chancellor, before the nursing and midwifery graduates are presented, I will ask them to assent to a declaration that they will maintain traditional standards of professional conduct. Will the nursing and midwifery graduates please stand? I solemnly promise to use to the best of my knowledge and ability the art and science of my profession for the good of those under my care, and to make the preservation and restoration of their health my constant aim. I shall keep secret anything I see or hear in my practice that should not be divulged. I shall constantly endeavour to improve my knowledge and skills within my profession, and to share useful discoveries with my fellow practitioners whom I promise to hold in fraternal regard. These things I shall do for the benefit of those whom I seek to serve, and for the honour of the profession that I now join. Do you make this promise?
Thank you. Please be seated. It's now my pleasure to invite Deputy Principal and Head of College of Nursing, Professor Margaret Smith. But before she commences, I have a special announcement that we're extremely pleased about. Professor Smith been awarded in the last New Year Honours List by the Queen an Order Officer of the Order of the British Empire. And for that, we congratulate you and we're very proud of you. Well deserved, lady.
Chancellor, thank you. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the nursing and midwifery degrees and for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Midwifery, Kerry Mackenzie. For the Bachelor of Midwifery, Charlene Penrose. For the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Jacqueline Beatson. Nicola Blaine. Janet Bright. Patricia Byers. Lorna Kushney. Kay Finnegan. Kerry Hermiston. Jennifer Loudon. Kisaya Manya. Gillian Smith. Karen Stonehouse. Jolene Toney. Penny Ward. And for the Bachelor of Nursing, Lynn Ballantyne. Alex Ban. Suzanne Beyer. Martina Byrne. Rachel Campbell. Claire Chambers. Angela Chia. Victoria Craig. Bernadette Crowe. Victoria. Victoria Craig. And Pamela Dempster. Amy Donegan. Kirsty Gibb. Jane Glancy. Alistair Gordon. Jill Gorman. Sarah Gray, Nicole Hanlon, Claire Henderson, Lisa Caird, Emma Houston, Ashley Howell, Robin Jameson, Elaine Johnson, Elaine Johnston, Patience Kumba, Ryan Manning, Sharon Mars, Caddis MacArthur, Courtney McDade, Gillian MacDonald, Lynn McWilliam, Efrel Mendes, Fiona Mingus, Lynn Mosley, Karen Murphy, Samantha Murphy, Carol Rann, Colleen Reid, Fraser Ross, Natasha Scott, Dale Simpson, Jennifer Steele, Danielle Strachan, Emma Urquhart, Jennifer Watson, Suzanne Watson, Margaret White, Margaret Woodward. For the Diploma of Higher Education, Cassandra Dickey. Casey Foster, Louise Imrie, Julia King, Kevin Lynch, Marie McMulligan, Rebecca O'Hara, Dawn Phillip, Scott Robertson, Elizabeth Simpson, Christina Waters. And for the diploma, postgraduate diploma in advanced practice, Gillian Galloway. And for the Master of Science, Joanne Welsh. Ian Wilkinson. Rebecca Beauchamp. Anne Connor. Gillian Crichton. Maria Ferris. Helen Magro. Ian Swan. Sheila Wheeler. And for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Catherine Patterson.
Thank you, Professor Smith. Now my pleasure to ask the Dean of the School of Humanities, Professor David Finkelstein, to introduce the candidate.
Chancellor, on behalf of the School of Humanities, it's my great honor and privilege to present for the degree of Master of Arts, First Class Honours, Monica Batic. Stephen Beale. Yona Bruce. Michael Cool. Suzanne Diaz. Chantal Doran. Laurie Dower. Katrina Duthie. Louise Flockhart. Christina Fuhrer. Kevin Fullerton. Sandra Ireland. Jane Johnston. Sarah Johnston. Nicholas Manderson. David McConaughey. Matthew O'Hare. Natalie Palmer. Ian Patterson. Daniel Raper. Lee Redman. Gaston Saleh. Catherine Sharp. Connor Slater. Haley Stewart. Julia Tarnowska. Jody Thompson. Kimberly Wood. For upper second class honors, Kirsty Allen. Ben Armstrong. Matthias Astle. Mirren Bone. Angela Branney. Christy Brown. Danielle Brown. Lindsay Brown. Sophie Brown. Leanne Butchart. Michaela Byers. Catherine Kerrigan. Winnie Choi. Daniel Clark. Victoria Collett. Ailey Conacher. Lynn Connor. Ewan Copeland. Amy Cowan. Jenna Cruden. Ryan Cuthbert. Thomas Davenport. Mark Davidson. Karen Delaney. Liam Devine. Catherine Eady. Martin Eckersley. Louise Eddy. Victoria Edwards. Becky Finley. Laura Gorman. Jennifer Grant. Chris Gregg. Colette Cribbin. Amy S. Hall. Suhail Haki. David Hill. Carrot Hill. Martin Hopton. Amber Hunter. Jaron James. Jenna Kane. Laurie Kitson. Chloe Knox. Gemma Leslie. Charlotte Lowry. Andrew McCauley. Gary MacDonald. Claire McKenzie. Sarah McKee. Ian McKinnon. Ryan McGuire. Valerie Maitland. Rebecca Martin. Samantha McAllister. Paul McCallum. Peter McCloskey. Greg McCormick. Connor McElwain. Kirsten McIntyre. Aidan Mackay. Christian McKenna. Sean McInnes. Ian McLaughlin. Eleanor McLeod. Leonie McRae. Mark McWalter. Alison Morley. Lindsay Mort. Lindsay Muir. Caitlin Murphy. James Murphy. Roseanne Murray. Melina Nicolaides. Layla Noon. Gavin Page. Alison Parker. Balraj Power. Tracy Payne. Margarita Permanente. Jordan Popov. Debbie Potter. Alfie Pound. Kirsten Ray. Daniel Reed. Chris Resin. Jamie Robson. Matthew Rowe. Kimberly Ryan. Fiona Scott. Susan Semple. Elliot Sewell. Marty Shaw Hawkins. Amy Sinclair. Lucy Kate Sinclair. Siobhan Silburn. Tracy Smith. Ishbel Sadin. Charlie Stanton. Jill Stevenson. Rosanna Stickles. Robert Thompson. Scott Thompson. Craig Thompson. Samuel Turner. Martin Upfold. Eva Vasilauskati. Paige Wallace. Lorraine Warrender. Adam White. Stephen Whitehead. Daniel Williams. Bartosz Trojewski. For lower second class honors, Kevin Anderson. Sean Appleby. Katrina Brewster. Grant Cameron. Sarah Carr. Jordan Christie. Stuart Dalgleish. Alistair Dawson. Ailey Donaldson. Ashley Dunlop. Louisa Fielding. Fraser Gellin. Jonathan Hargreaves. Jim Houghton. Callum Hotchkiss. David Hunter. Sam Irwin. Nicola Lang. Rachel Lessels. Sadish Mahmood. Mark McCall. Alana McCarthy. Nikki Ross. Callum Sim. Sinead Spira. Aaron Swanson. Elliot Wilson. Rory Wilson. Third class honors, Stuart Gorman. Laurie McBain. Natasha McKim. Graham Reid. Kerry Rice. For Master of Arts, Rebecca Bannerman. Louisa Bennett. Kushan Badu. Evelyn Clotty. Andrew Duthie. Linda McNichol. Gareth Taylor. Reagan Wishart. For postgraduate certificate in archival studies, Lucy Gibbon. For postgraduate certificate in arts and social sciences, Peter Anderson. For the postgraduate diploma in archives and records management, Charlotte Burgess. Simon Johnson. For the Master of Letters, Gavin Boyle. Christopher Campbell. Judith Cowell. Callum Laird. Mark McLean. Caleb McDonald. Nicola Robson. Hannah Rose. Aldona Stepanovic-Yuti. Ross Stewart. Golda Walker. Norman Brown. Oh. Alexandra Sisler. Sarah Clayton. Mark Duncan. John Laidlaw. Ewan Lynch. Rachel Pike. George Rice. Fleur Soper. John Watson. Kevin White. Christine Wood. All right. Oh, and David Stell. Postgraduate diploma. For Master of Science, Natasha Carr. Katie McNeil. For the Doctor of Philosophy, I'd like to invite Keir Elder. Carolyn Chayunta. Christopher Kidd. Stephen Rose. Ryan Rushton. That concludes the degrees from School of Humanities.
Thank you, Professor Finkelstein. Principal, can I?
Chancellor, I have the honour to invite you to confer their degrees in absence upon the candidates who have been unable to attend this ceremony.
By the authority of the Senate, I confer these degrees.
Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you all to join together in a collective celebration of your success as you emerge from this ceremony as graduates of this university. But there are a few rules that I'd like to point out. The first is this is a competition, and 4 ceremonies have gone before you, and each one has raised the roof even higher than the previous one. And of course, there's also a competition between the different schools represented here. And I must say that I was surprised this morning because in the past, the School of Nursing and Midwifery have kind of created the most sort of raucous applause and celebration of the individual successes as their friends and family join in. But today, the School of Humanities really came good, I thought, and made even more noise than those celebrating with the School of Nursing and Midwifery. But there's a chance to catch up. So use this opportunity well. Now, so what you need to do is to make as much noise as possible, or as legally possible. Polite applause is not the order of the day, but whistling and cheering your fellows. That baby in the corner that welcomed my, my opening speech could be woken up at this point and join in fulsomely. Stamping feet works very well, and I'm told we are insured within the Caird Hall. So, can I invite you all to celebrate your success? Congratulations, everybody.
I wasn't wanting you to stop. Thank you. Principal, can I invite you to introduce the Honorary Fellow of the University?
Thank you, Chancellor. So I have great pleasure this year of introducing our first Honorary Fellows. We've established this honour of recognition of those individuals from outside the institution who have developed a strong relationship with the university and contributed to its success. Because the university is more than an educational institution, it is part of the fabric of business and civic life in Scotland, and we have exceptionally good links with our business and civic community. And each of the people we're honouring this week has played a major role in building these relationships. helping to foster a sense of enterprise across the university, engaging with our students and supporting our fundraising and other activities. They have all given freely of their time, experience and expertise, all for the good of the University of Dundee. Chancellor, I call upon Mr. Bruce Linton. You can... Bruce Linton built up James Keeler Estates Limited into a significant property development and management company from a strong Dundee base. Bruce and his management team are enthusiastic supporters of the university's enterprise development agenda. So, Chancellor, for continued and outstanding contribution, I have the honour to invite you to induct as an Honorary Fellow of the University of Dundee, Mr. Bruce Linton.
Mr. Linton, Bruce, if I may. It gives me great pleasure as Chancellor to welcome you as an Honorary Fellow of the University. If, as the Principal said, university is part of the fabric of business and civic society, you are the business and the civic society. You are a true son of Dundee. Even I might be the only one in this audience who remembers Sidlaw Industries. Welcome to the university.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for your continued support to the university and your contribution you make. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we are going to listen for only a few minutes to the greatest choir that ever has been. I'll remember to say nice things about you. Thank you. Please be upstanding. I declare this academic ceremony closed.